Nicky, the first 7 races haven't been easy. First of all, how is the hand?
It's better. I had an operation before Barcelona and has improved a bit. Not as much as I'd hoped. I mean, it's kind of an issue I'm going to have to deal with for a bit, but getting better. So looking forward to the track. Hopefully definitely want to be more competitive here than I was in Barcelona, and really hoping for a good weekend.
Were you disappointed when you first rode the production racer?
Well, I had high expectations, had been believed a lot of the hype or so, and so it's true that we thought it would be a little bit more competitive than what we have, but now we've realized this is the bike we got, and we got to make the most of it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to Assen. On paper, this track is a little bit less top speed, a little bit less acceleration. Also here in Germany, so yeah, of course we would like a little bit more horsepower and be getting better results, because it's really tough for me and the team, but hey, this is the deal, and we're very happy with the handling, because the bike handles and chassis is really well, but we are missing out on that power, but we got to deal with it. So.
And was it tough for you during the winter, because you were going to Aspar initially with the Aprilia, then it was Honda, but you had the option to go to the Open Yamaha as well?
Yeah, I had a few options, but obviously I'd had a good career with Honda, and I really heard a lot of good stories about this bike. So we chose to go that way, and in the end, maybe at the moment it's not the most competitive bike I could have chose, but I like the team. I have a good feeling with the guys. They're very professional, everybody involved, and it's been a tough first few races. I'm not going to kid anybody or tell any stories, but we're hoping that we can do better. It's a 2-year deal, and if nothing else, we hope learn and get through this year and even next year. I know it's a long way down the road, but we hope that can certainly we can be more competitive next year.
And the stories you heard about this bike, is that the story about Casey Stoner being 0.3 slower than the official bike in Motegi?
Yeah, of course. There was a lot of expectations with this bike. So, and like I said, the chassis on this bike, there's a lot of things it does really well. It's very reliable. Bike works stopping, turning really good, but also, to compete with the factory bikes, you need the acceleration, need the power, especially in the race conditions. So, so we got to get more out of it ourselves with the bike and with the rider and with the team. But of course, we were hoping that that 0.3 was the reality, but it's probably more 0.3 on every straightaway.
But you had also the option to go to World Superbikes, but you said you definitely wanted to stay here in this paddock. But isn't it better to be every weekend on the podium in World Superbikes, or maybe be world champion, than fighting for 10th place here?
Well, it's true. I had a couple of World Superbike options and considered it, because it is some good racing. But it's clear MotoGP's elite. It's the top level. So yeah, maybe if you could get better results in World Superbike, or if I really wanted to just go somewhere easier, I could go really down. But it's not about trying to find an easier championship or anything else. I want to be at the top level, and I still believe I have the speed to compete here. So as long as I feel good and can stay at the highest level of motorcycle racing, then that's the plan. So we're not looking to back down just yet.
What do you think in general of the open class?
It's okay concept. Truthfully, I would prefer everybody on factory bikes and have the whole grid closer, but this is the situation, and now I think in some tracks it has been quite nice with the softer tire and more fuel, but the more fuel's not really helping us too much, but the softer tire is certainly gives us a little edge in some places. We've been able to advance to Q2 a couple of times, so I like open factory at the moment, because it's made for a full grid and some pretty competitive, but I look forward to when it's back, everybody on absolute equal playing field, and less confusing for the fans and people like that.
And Michelin coming in as well, that's going to level things out as well.
Well, even now, the tires are spec, so it's pretty level, got no complaints, but will be a big change. I think maybe people don't realize how big a part tires play in it. You're talking, close to 250 horsepower now on these bikes, though we do have electronics, there's still a lot of horsepower for tracks like Germany and Phillip Island to do the complete distance on the tire. But I think all the riders were relieved when we heard it was Michelin, just because we trust them. It wasn't so long ago that Michelin was here providing tires, because tires are a big part of the safety. You see the blowouts, chunks, and different things like that. So I don't think Michelin stayed involved, and it'll be a big change. It'll be interesting to how it changes and what bike it suits quicker, because tires really change a lot. So, but that's a long way down the road, and this week let's concentrate on Assen.
How did you have to change your riding style going back to the Honda after 5 years on the Ducati?
I did have to adjust. Definitely, I would say the biggest area was in braking, which is probably the strong point of the Honda and probably the weaker point of the Ducati. With the front end, this bike was able to certainly break into the apex a lot deeper and a lot harder, so I had to adjust to that. And also for me, one of the bigger changes was on this bike, you don't need the clutch at all for back shifting on corner entry, whereas on the Ducati I had to use, which this is the first time ever in my career I've entered the corner without touching the clutch. So it was something you had to, I wouldn't say really learn, but really just make it a habit. Whereas, so habit don't take over and you don't even think about it. So I broke that, and now that's pretty easy. So a few little tricks. I mean, every bike is different, but the Ducati was very special and very different. And I would say I'm still maybe even getting rid of a few of the Ducati habits.
This is your 12th season, MotoGP. Besides the bike, what were the biggest changes the past couple of years in this whole MotoGP circus?
The MotoGP circus, that's a good word for it. I would say, you mentioned tires. Spec tires was a big change, but I would say electronics have changed so much since my early days, though truthfully, I don't know if it's really changed in the better for the rider. Of course, maybe the bikes are a little safer, and it's making for better street bikes for the consumers. For riding on the street, it's safer, but I miss the old days with less electronics, but that's how it is now. And I would say those tires and electronics. The rest is still, racing bikes. Yeah, same racing bikes, and not too much change. I mean, I would say there has been some good changes along the way, some safety. The Rider Safety Commission, I think, has improved things where the organizers really do listen to the riders, and that's something that we appreciate, because not all championships and not all forms of racing, I think, the riders have so much say-so and get heard so much.
The past couple of years we saw some new tracks, Texas this year, Argentina. Do you prefer these tracks compared to the old school tracks?
Well, I hate not going to Laguna Seca anymore. That was
next question.
Yeah, that was my favorite track, and not only my favorite track, was my favorite weekend, because they raced with AMA. So my brothers raced. I mean, one of the highlights, obviously I won there in '06, but also my older brother won the AMA race, and my little brother got on the podium, so made it something extra special for me and the family. But the tracks, I mean, it just depends. There's some new tracks. I mean, the new track in Argentina is great. As good a track as we had. Austin, I should like it. For in America, the facility is amazing. It's really safe. It's really state of the art. It has everything, but it doesn't have the character and some of the stuff that Laguna and some old school tracks have. So, there's pluses and minuses. Some new tracks are good, some less.
Finally, Assen 2006.
Yeah, I seen the other day was the anniversary. So that was a good day. Obviously, that weekend bike worked well and was able to have a fight with Colin and get a win. But truthfully, I mean, when my career's over, maybe I'll look back on those days. But at the moment, only looking forward to Assen 2014 and hopefully get a good result.
Have a good weekend.
All righty. Thank you.
Very much.